Welcome. Today we are going to take one of the coolest spaceships, Slave 1, and we are going to use the pen tool to create a customized vector shape. So let's grab that pen tool. I am going to make it with a shape. I'm also going to be using paths. So we have the option of making a path straight away or using a shape. And I'm going to do both. There are lots of different ways to approach this, but I'm going to try and approach it in a cool way. So I've got the pen tool, got the little asterisk next to the pen tool nub, which says, hey, you're starting a new path. Going to option click there, so I can come down. Just dragging along, going to option click to reset that last point so that I get a straight line. Let's zoom in a little bit here. And then we'll put little nubs. Oops. Going to option click to straighten that because I want a straight line there. It's pretty good. Whoa. Option click. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to read as Boba's ship. All right, when I see that circle and I'm using the pen tool, I know that that means that I'm closing the path. Now this gets a little wonky in here. I can select the direct select tool to move some of my anchor points around. And I can select the handles. Now see how this is curved? I don't really want that. So I'm going to go to the pen tool, grab this convert point tool and click. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. The shortcut for the direct select is A. Whoa, that's getting a little crazy. I'm going to hit P and hover over that point, and you'll see the minus shows up and subtracts it. I think I may have one too many points in there. And there we go. Just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. So we've got a work path. It's a work path because it's italicized. So I'm going to double click, save it as Slave 1. That is now a path that will be saved with our document. I'm going to throw the other work path away. Okay. If you need to make a selection, you can make a selection at the bottom. If you need to make it an editable path again, click this little icon, and then you can go back in and make selections to it. So just kind of tweaking it a little bit. Oh wow, this goes in like that. So we have to do some cleanup work here. I'm going to grab the pen tool and I want to pick up that path. It's not going to let me. So we're going to have to subtract this from it. That is some real Star Wars ignorance on my part, and I am very sorry about that. Maybe, aha! I can grab the pen tool and click and add anchor points. Grab A for the direct select tool and move those anchor points around. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to hit P, add a couple more, A, to position them accordingly. so that we are not thwarted. Any questions so far? P, add, excuse me, A, to move that around. All right, I think that looks good. Now we have a new path, so we can throw away the other one and double click to save our new path, slave 1. All right. Now let's make a path for this window so that when we make a selection, we can cut this out of it. Very quickly, I'm gonna select. Now, then if I don't reset this point, it's just gonna go crazy when I get to the next one. That's not what I want. So I have to option click, option click. Okay. So I'm gonna name that little piece window. Hit OK and throw away my temporary. So I'm gonna grab slave 1 and make a selection. And I'm going to grab window and go to make selection, subtract from selection. So we can work with that separately. Now, we want to make a custom shape. And if you look, it's grayed out. What we need to do is make sure that these are selected. Go to Edit, Define, Custom Shape. It's only selecting one without the window. So this is going to be probably a 2-part kind of thing that I figured it out. I had a momentary loss, but now it's back. So slave 1, we went to make a selection for slave 1. And then we went to window, make selection, subtracted it from the selection. Perfect. Now, in order to go to edit, define custom shape, these have to be selected. But one contains the ship, one contains the window. So what I need to do is go down to the bottom, this little guy right here, make a new path, make a work path from selection. Pachow! And there it is. Double click, call it the real ship. Real life ship. Okay, and then with that selected, edit, with that selected over here in the path, edit, define custom shape, slave 1, okay. Make a new dock, go to your custom tools, slave 1, select it. I'm adding all that on one shape layer, right? We can fill these. If I want to add a different color, just grab that custom shape. Do not hold down the shift. Well, actually the shift constrains proportion. But you can see that when I hold down the shift, it also adds it to that layer. So I have to unhold that, start to draw again and hold down the shift in order for it to be a new shape layer. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, that is quite possibly the coolest demo. Now I think we can see where we need to go back in and maybe do a little bit more refinement on the ship in order for it to read. But it's going to look pretty cool if there's an army of these or our U-2 planes coming in. Okay. So shift will add them all to one layer. If you want to add one by itself, start to draw it, and then hold down the shift to constrain proportions, and it will be on a new layer. All right. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.